And welcome back to CTF Walkthroughs. I'm your host, Callie Surfer, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of a medium difficulty box from TryHackMe. The title is Devie, and in this box, we'll be doing a boot to root style challenge, and we'll go from an external pen test situation. We'll gain our foothold as one user. We'll do some lateral movement to a second user and then privilege escalation up to the root, and we'll grab our third and final root flag. In this box, we'll have some interesting challenges with decryption and different encryption types, and we'll also be using some command line hijacking by creating a file with a file name that spoofs a argument on a command. And with that trick, we'll be able to become the root user on the box and finish off this challenge. So without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Listen closely.
And the premise of this box is that a developer asked us to basically pen test their website to look for any security vulnerabilities. And today we're going to jump right into it. And we found a service running an HTTP website on port 5000. And today we were able to locate a link to the source code. So right now we're just jumping into the source code and looking for any security vulnerabilities. And one thing to look for is input validation. And we noticed right away that there are 3 functions on the website. They're all mathematical functions. And the bisect function uses the Python command eval. Eval is known for being vulnerable to remote code execution. So we can do a quick Google search and figure out what kind of one-liner we can use to spawn a reverse shell. So we're going to be basically inputting our malicious code into the first box under bisection method. So we'll use our burp suite to intercept the web request, but first let's look up how to exploit eval in Python. And we'll just check out the second link here. And we can see here this string allows us to use remote code execution. So let's copy this string. Oh yeah, and here's a full reverse shell command. So we'll go ahead and copy that one. And over in our notes, actually, let's review our fuller TAC A all scripts nmap scan results. And we can see that it's running a Werkzeug HTTP website. And here we're just making some notes. We have a one-liner here, but we have to figure out the syntax of how to actually put it into the web request. Or, it's actually simpler, I think, we can skip it altogether. We'll intercept it just to take a look. But instead of diving deep into URL encoding and other ways of obfuscating the rev shell payload, let's see if we can input it as plain text on the actual form and submit it to get a reverse shell without any further complications. So we'll start up a listener on port quad 4s, and we'll just go ahead and submit this request for the bisection method. Hey, and there we go. We have our foothold. So we are Bruce on the machine. Host name is Devie, and we'll just cat out our flag 1 here, and we already got our first flag. So let's copy that over, and we'll just paste it in here so we keep a running list of our flags. So we know that there is a Bruce because we are Bruce, and there should be at least one other user on the box. So let's check out what this note file is here. And they used an XOR format and then added some base 64 to spice it up. So we know the order of operations here is encoding, XOR, and then base 64. So if we're going to reverse engineer that encoding and decode the string below, first we need to find the key value for XOR encoding. And we can do that just by running the script, because as you can see here, we have special permissions to run from the Bruce account. We can run the following command as the user Gordon, and we don't even need a password to do it. So right now we're just doing here's where we can input that whatever string we want to, actually. So I'll just put in the whole alphabet from A to Z, and it spits out this string. Let's copy this string and we'll head on over to Cyberchef. Cyberchef is it's known as the Swiss Army knife of encoding or decoding. So I'll move my head out of the way for a minute here, and we'll load up Cyberchef, and you can see that we can put in a different recipe for different series of encoding or decoding. So here we'll go full screen so we can see what we're working with. I'll bring that away so you can see. So we're just cooking up a recipe here. We'll reload to get the formatting to look correct here. We have so we're doing first from base 64 because we have to go in reverse order, remember, of how this this string was created. And then we'll just go with the EOX or XOR rather encryption method here and we'll skip to the scheme. We'll use UTF-8 there instead of the standard, and we need to find the key here for decryption. And we'll input that key as the alphabet, and we get this string down here, which is the output of our command. So we're going to use that string, the super secret, etc. string, as our XOR key. And now we'll put in the string that was in the note so that we can decrypt it using the same method now that we've found the key. So I hope that makes sense. We just got our password for the other user, which is Gordon. So now we should be able, after we just save our new credentials here in our notes, we should be able to switch users or just SSH straight into the box as the user Gordon. Gotham rocks with an exclamation point. So now we'll just SU Gordon to switch over to the user Gordon. And I'll first just stabilize the shell with this Python 3 one-liner, because if I don't stabilize the shell first, it won't let me use the SU command. And now we can. So put in Gotham rocks, exclamation point, and who am I? We're Gordon. Awesome. So we just got the second user, and we'll cat out that flag 2. And I'll copy that over to our notes to save for later. There we go. We'll just sudo tacl to see if we have any. Oh, I got the wrong password there. Let me copy that again. And we'll just paste that in here with Control-Shift-V. And it says we cannot run sudo as Gordon. That's all right. No sweat. So we'll let's use wget and bring over the pspy 64 utility. Now, pspy, if you've seen other videos by me, you might have seen me run this. It allows us to monitor processes running on this machine by all users, including the root user, without having the root permissions. So it's a way of getting a glimpse into what's working on the back end. And we can look for any reoccurring commands that might be running on a cron job or something similar to that on a regular schedule, like say every minute, every hour, or
All right, so we'll just lsla and verify that we have our pspy utility, and let's spin up a Python 3 server, and we'll grab that with wget to our target machine, and we'll chmod plus x this one to make it executable by Gordon, and then we'll run this, and we can start to view processes that are running on our target machine and which user is running them, including the root user. So we'll keep an eye on that on the side as we continue on. We're looking for anything that's reoccurring, especially if it has a fishy sounding name, and especially if it's being run by root. We see our pspy64 operation there. So now we're back in as Gordon via SSH, and we're running pspy64 on the target. And up on top, I started a second SSH terminal so that I won't Control-C cancel and go back to my my local box. So let's go ahead and do some local enumeration, and we see that flag that we already got, Gordon. That's our home directory. Let's go back, and we'll get Linpeas up and running in just a moment. All right, we opened a third subterminal there to navigate to our transfer folder and set up that simple Python 3 HTTP server again, so we can wget it over to our target at Gordon, or at Gordon at Devie, and we grabbed it. Let's chmod plus exit so that we can execute, and then with a ./linpeas.sh we can run linpeas, and we'll keep an eye on the output here on linpeas, paying close attention to anything that is red text or red with yellow highlighting. And just browsing the processes. Nothing jumps out at me yet. Saw a bunch of red text there on the Linpeas output. We'll have to go back and take a close look at that. Oh, there's something. Gordon backups bash. There was some kind of binary there. And it has an SUID bit, so that may be our way forward. It's in the home Gordon backups folder. And if we cat it out, it looks like it's compiled, so we can't make much sense of it. Let's copy it to our current working directory and check the permissions. And we'll chmod plus XS for adding that SUID bit and execute permissions. And let's Let's test it out here. So we'll move this bash script into the reports directory. Let's go into that directory and we'll see what's in there. So we're going to add the file that I already placed in there, but wouldn't be in there if you're trying the box for the first time. And we'll add a file that's blank and call it tac-tac-preserve equals mode. And the reason we're doing this is because there's a script that's running on a cron job like timetable, so over and over. And what it does is it copies everything from this reports directory and pastes or copies it to the backups folder. So if we make a file with the name tac-tac-preserve equals mode, it will fool it, and when sudo is running the command to back up the files, it'll put that on there and it'll misread it as a argument. And what it'll do is it'll preserve the permissions on the file as it's being copied over. So it'll preserve the sudo permissions, the SUID permissions in that file, and when it runs, it will actually spawn us a root shell, and we can grab the root flag and be finished with this box. All right, so we've got in our backups, we also have that bash script. Oh, and there we go. We got our root shell here just by running the bash script with the tac-p for persistence, and we have our root flag. Let's paste that in there, and then we'll just enter them into our TryHackMe answer field so we can collect our recognition and our points and wrap up this box for today. Awesome. Got our first one, our second one, and our root flag. Jokers are wild. And we just finished up the box Devie from TryHackMe. Make sure that if you want to see more full-length CTF videos and other short videos on ethical hacking topics, be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me for all of the latest tips and tricks in CTF problem solving and ethical hacking. Until next time, see ya.